Once again, welcome to DSEG Home Classes, an attempt to connect learner with instructor, a digital initiative by the Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Myself, Anjuman Shaheen, Senior Lecturer, District Poonch. Dear students, I welcome you all in the English classroom. Have you watched the movie PK, starred by Amir Khan? If yes, you have seen in the movie Amir Khan came from another planet to the earth. He acts in a different manner, unlike human beings. This is a very nice movie about the alien. The story which I am going to teach you today is also about the aliens who came from the space and visited Mr. Alsop's house. The name of the story is The Star Ducks, written by Bill Brown. First of all, let us have an introduction about the story. The Star Ducks is a story written by Bill Brown. It is about a visit by extraterrestrials or aliens. It is a fine example of science fiction. Ward Rafferty, the Times top reporter, receives a telephone call and goes to the Alsop's field. There, he is shown a machine that looks awkward. In that machine have come two extraterrestrials. Before he can click photographs of these extraterrestrials or aliens, they enter in the machine and move into the space. He is left wondering what he had thought to be had proved to be a reality. The two beings from space were unlike human beings, but before leaving, they leave a spell on Rafferty. The theme of the story. The story is based on the theme that there is life on planets other than Earth. It also tells us about the simplicity of village folk. The Star Ducks tells about the story of a city reporter who was called in to report a strange plane crash in a village. When he reached there, he finds out that it is in fact an alien landing and that the aliens had contacted the Alsop couple in the village. He was told by the Alsops that the aliens had visited earlier and they had exchanged space eggs for chicken eggs. Now they have come back for more as the chicken eggs given earlier did not hatch. Throughout the story, one cannot help but to sympathize with Rafferty's misfortunes. The story is full of ridiculous and humorous situations. Here is the summary of the story, and I have divided it into parts. Part 1. Rafferty receives a phone call about a plane crash in the field around Alsop's farm. Ward Rafferty, the Times top reporter, receives a call informing him of a plane crash in the field around Mr. Alsop's house. He reaches the place but finds no crowd of curious farmers there. He also sees no ambulance. He starts thinking the call received by him about an airplane crash might be a hoax. Ward Rafferty asks Alsop about the plane crash. Rafferty asks Mr. Alsop about the plane crash, but he gives a negative response. Mrs. Alsop, however, tells the reporter that an airplane came down this morning but it was not wrecked. She further says that it is really not an airplane as it has no wings on it. She tells Mr. Rafferty that it is in the barn now and it belongs to some folk who bend iron with a hammer. Mr. Rafferty follows Mr. Alsop around the latter's house. On reaching the barn door, he looks inside and sees an object. The object is like a giant plastic balloon. It's only half inflated so that it is globular on top and its flat bottom is resting on the straw-colored floor. Mr. Rafferty thinks it to be somebody's stupid idea of a spaceship. Suddenly, Mr. Rafferty asks Mr. Alsop whether he built that object. Mr. Alsop says that he didn't build it. He asks Mr. Alsop about the folks or aliens who have come in this contraption. Ward Rafferty asks Mr. Alsop about the folks who have come in the contraption. While leading the reporter towards the house, Mr. Alsop tells him that these folks from the other planet came there the first time about 6 years ago. They wanted some eggs from the world of humans to raise chickens on their planet. It took them 3 years to get home. The eggs spoiled. So they have come again. Mr. Alsop then tells Mr. Rafferty that this time he fixed them up a little brooder so that they can raise chickens on the way. His talk is quite humorous and ridiculous. Rafferty and Mr. Alsop enters the living room. Mrs. Alsop is sitting in an armchair close to a circulating heater. Mr. Rafferty sees the strange folks sitting side by side on a sofa. Their round eyes seem painted on. Rafferty clutched the door facing and stares. They are different creatures with looks unlike the looks of human beings. Rafferty asks the names of these aliens. Mrs. Alsop tells Rafferty that they don't know the names of the strangers. The strangers can only make pictures. They point their squiggly horns at a human and just think. That makes the human beings think too. The same thing they are thinking. She once asked them their name and let them think for her. They made a picture of a man hammering some iron on an anvil. So she guessed their name is something like man who bends iron. Rafferty asks Alsop where these aliens come from. Mr. Rafferty asks Mrs. Alsop to ask them where they come from. She raises her finger and both horns bend towards her and aim directly at her head. She asks them to tell Mr. Rafferty where they come from. Mr. Alsop asks Rafferty to just hold up his finger when he wants his answer. He does what he is asked to do. The woman whose husband bent iron bent her antenna down until it focuses on Rafferty between the eyes. He unconsciously braces himself against the door facings. His brain suddenly feels as though it were made of rubber and somebody was twisting, rigging and pounding it out of shape. The terror of this trauma blinds him. He is flying through the space. Stars and meteorites whizzed by and a great star, white and sparkling, stands there in his mind and then goes out. His mind is released, but he finds himself trembling, holding the door facings tightly. Alsop describes the strangers. Mr. Rafferty addresses Mr. Alsop and says that the strangers are really creatures from out there in space. He asks for Mr. Alsop's phone, but he says that they don't have a phone. He also tells Mr. Rafferty that the strangers are going in a few minutes. They have already put their eggs and brooder and feed on board. On hearing it, Rafferty feels shocked. He insisted on getting a phone. He also says that he has got to get a photograph. Mrs. Alsop smiles and says that the creatures from space have to leave at a certain time, and so they have not agreed even to stay for supper. They must leave when the moon is in the right place. Rafferty asks Mr. Alsop whether he has got a camera. Mr. Alsop goes into the parlor and tries hard to find his camera. Suddenly, the people from the outer space rush out of the door and darted towards the barn. Rafferty feels that the greatest story in the world has gone off into the sky. Rafferty needs information about these extraterrestrials. Mr. Alsop is still hunting for the camera. Mr. Rafferty asks him if those people paid him for the eggs. He wants to see the money they paid. Mr. Alsop says that they did not pay them in money. They brought some eggs of their own in trade when they came here 6 years ago. These eggs were star-shaped. When Mr. Alsop and his wife set those eggs under a hen, and the hen felt bothered terribly. The star ducks looked something like a little hippopotamus and something like a swallow. Only two of them lived and the Alsops ate them for Thanksgiving. Mr. Rafferty wants to see the skeletons of the star ducks. Mr. Alsop says he gave the skeletons, means bones, of the star ducks some 5 years ago to the dog. Even the dog is dead now. Mr. Rafferty picks up his hat and walks out into the night. Rafferty is dazed man after hearing the account of the Alsops. Mr. Alsop comes out of the corner. He wipes the dust off a box camera with his sleeves and says, "Oh, Mr. Rafferty, I found the camera." But it is too late because the aliens had darted away from that place. After listening the summary, I hope, dear students, you would be able to write the character sketch of Ward Rafferty. I have jotted few words to draw the character of Rafferty. Hope you will elaborate these words and write the character sketch of Ward Rafferty. Ward Rafferty of the times was extremely professional. He left the car and stood for a moment, noting every detail that made him the Times' top reporter. Rafferty was quite intelligent and thoughtful. As he begged pardon from Mr. Alsop and tells him, "I beg your pardon," an airplane came down. This clearly shows that Rafferty was quite intelligent and thoughtful. He said innocently, "They would talk to me or think to me." It shows his naive and innocent nature, which is further seen in this. Mr. Alsop nudged Mr. Rafferty, "Just hold up your finger when you want your answer." These are some of the lines from your text. Mr. Rafferty was suspicious also. It is strongly supported by the extract Rafferty looked slyly at the people who bent iron and at Mrs. Elsop. His proud and conceited behavior is revealed in this extract in your textbook. Rafferty pushed his hat back on his head before he said, "I am Rafferty of the times." Dear students, this was all about the character sketch of Rafferty. Dear students, hope you will like and enjoy the story about aliens. Stay home, stay safe. Good luck to you.